Young Perk from Cali.
Welcome to the 49ers Street Squad pregame show with your boy Chili Will. Welcome back, 49er faithful. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you show some love, hit the like button and subscribe. Get another great show for you as the 49ers get ready to go into Jacksonville, Florida to take on the Jaguars. And we're going to talk about it with our special guest. I'd like to invite back a man that's he's always dripping on some 49er gear, man, and got that swag, man. The man's out there always doing this thing. But I would like to bring back my man, Antonio Arevalo.
How's it going, Chili Will?
What's up, Antonio? Welcome back to the 49ers Street Squad pregame show, man, as the 49ers get ready to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars tomorrow at 10 o'clock, man. I'm really excited about this game, man. But, hey, how about that Monday Night Football game against the Rams, man? I'm still feeling pretty electric over that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still hyped up, man. I have to ask you, how you feel about that one?
I'm still hyped up myself, man. It's like the movie The Godfather, right? When you think I'm out, they pull you back in, right? The Niners pulled us back in on this season right now. Big win. We had a good play on offense and defense. It was a well-balanced game, and it makes us think maybe we can go on a little run here, get back into this wild card, playoff talk, so let's see what happens here. Exactly.
I mean, that was kind of, I got goosebumps watching these guys, man, because to me, it was like looking at the, those Super Bowl 49ers there, man, a lot of running plays, right? It ran like a lot of running plays throughout that game and stuff. Jimmy kind of did this nice, smooth little 20 whatever yard passes that, a couple went for touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? So he was on the money. He did a real good job. So that's why I see him representing. I don't know if you can see the Niners jersey. I got his number 10 on, but he's out of my doghouse for now.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. And I feel he did a real great job, in that game and stuff. But man, I don't know about you. It almost felt like to me like playoff atmosphere, almost not there, but very close to it.
Yeah, that had to be the game of the season, right? Especially getting a win at home. We were having a hard time getting a win at home. I think that the atmosphere, everybody came out. It was loud. It was Monday Night Football. The tailgate was fun. It was fun watching the game with you, man, and your wife, everybody that was out. It was electric. It was electric.
Yes, indeed, man. And like you said, the 49er faithful, man, would take them to that level. When you got like the wave going on in the stadium, everybody's happy, man. That's like a sign like, oh man, we're having a party here. Let's start the wave. Let's get the wave going and stuff. So that was really awesome. Again, great game. I'm still just coming off the high of that game, man. It was really exciting. And now I can't wait to, 49ers going to play the Jacksonville Jaguars tomorrow. And, now we get to face this team. It's 2-7 on the road, and thank God. So far, the record's been pretty good for us, right? 4-1,
right.
And really excited about, still excited about this game. Going to see number one pick, Mr. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence in action.
Trevor Lawrence, yeah.
And what's his name? Head coach Urban Meyer. He's got this boy playing, man. I was watching back a little bit of the preview of last week's game, and it looked like they're still fighting to get to where they got to be, of course, but they were giving the Colts. The team that beat us, they gave Colts a good little fight, and wasn't that like they got blown out, they were kind of making a little comeback, and I kind of thought, wow, these guys, we can't sleep on these guys, and so my first question to you is, as far as this game is, how do you think the Niners, attack the Jaguars going into this game?
Well, just speaking on what you said, it can't be a trap game, right? I mean, I don't even think the Niners are in a place to get trapped by anybody. So I would think if I was playing, you got to prepare like every game's a playoff game at this point. But I think what's most important is getting the win and playing the game the same way we played against the Rams. We have to establish the run. I think that's going to be very important going forward because once we take care of the clock and keep our defense off the field, it creates momentum, I think, even for Jimmy G and the rest of the team and everybody getting involved.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I think, they continue to still play, the running game because, that's like their bread and butter. And, they had, Mitchell going strong. We saw Wilson. Wilson came back,
right.
and so he was able to put a few runs in there and help make the offensive run game really strong for the San Francisco 49ers, which was great to see. I mean, the time of possession, like they killed it, man, with the Rams. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think they had like what they say, like they 11 offensive play run that lasted, I think, most of the first quarter or something. Quite a few minutes, 11 minutes or something like that. So that's good, man. That's like the old days. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this is the Niners we're used to seeing out there. Controlling the ball, keep that other offense off the field. And just tie down that defense. You know what I mean? Now, do you think they continue to focus on running the ball with Mitchell? I mean, because he's got a bruised finger.
He's got a finger. Yeah.
Right. And I think they still kind of 50-50 on if he's going to play tomorrow or not. I haven't heard any last news on it, but I think he might try to make a comeback in time, hopefully. But if he doesn't go, who do you think, Coach Kyle will end up replacing him with if he doesn't play?
I think it'll definitely be Jeff. It'll be Wilson Jr. because he's experienced. Let's see if he's, ready to roll. And I think you got to give him the ball if he can't go. But this isn't a leg. This is a finger. So I don't know how serious it really is. And, they might shoot that thing up and he might play and tape it up. Who knows? But you want everybody to be able to hold the ball well. So, that's the scary thing. When it is a finger on a running back, they're going to be holding the ball. So, if he can't go, he needs to just be honest and let the team know. But I think it'll be Jeff Wilson Jr. that will get the start if that's the case.
Now, do you think they bring Trey Sermon back up if Mitchell cannot play? Well, you think Trey Sermon might come back and take his shoes, or I know Jermichael Hasty, I think he's still out with the bad ankle issue, so I'm not sure if he's coming back yet. I haven't heard nothing about him. So,
that's a quiet one. That's a quiet one, right? But I think you bring back up the rookie as a backup, and who knows, maybe Juice gets some more playing time as well. So, like I said, we just got to go in there and the next man up type attitude. But the team is coming off a win. We got to keep them coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think hopefully Mitchell will be able to get in there, get some carries. Hopefully this maybe they'll take the finger off to the index finger or what have you. I'm not even sure what finger. I know it's either the index or the middle finger.
Right.
Confirmed by Gloria from the show Wednesday. but it looks like they put a little rod in there, and stitched him up and everything. So and he was on the practice field, on the sidelines in the blue jersey. So that's usually, pretty much means he's probably going to be a go. So let's hope we see him tomorrow. Also, Greenlaw may be coming back. He's supposedly returned back to practice, and now that he is back, let me ask you this question. You think maybe if he does return, does he replace El Shair, or do you think he's going to still ride with El Shair on the defense with Fred Warner?
Al Shair has been playing lights out. I think he's having a great season, right? So, and that's a good thing because, it all depends on, is Greenlaw, 100%, 90%, 80, 60, whatever they want to call it. I mean, he might be able to sit out this one more if he isn't ready to go. And I think making a debut at a home game would be just as good, because I think when we come back and have the Vikings at home, that we're going to need him out there by then. So I don't like guys getting re-injured. That's my fear right now. We got to stop the bleeding on the injuries. And when guys come back, we want to make sure that they're able to really, really play and not hurt themselves again.
Right. Yeah. That I feel the same pretty much. I think Talanoa, what I want to say, El Shair. I'm sorry. I think he's, like you said, he's been doing a great job. He's been holding it down. Played an excellent game on Monday night. Made some great tackles, and man, this guy is flying around to the ball. And I think Ward had a meeting with the team, and some of the other captains, and it was like a self-check, accountable check. It was like, hey guys, we got to step up and do our thing. You know what I mean? Right. And it was just a different team out there Monday night, man. It was like kind of like, wow. I was kind of sweating that game because, I was kind of like, okay, they're playing great, but you know, they're gonna end up blowing this thing, you know what I'm saying? And your boy Carlos was kind of, he was telling me, man, he said, man, you're sweating.
Yeah.
He said, you're sweating. In the third quarter, he's like, we got this, man. I'm looking at him and go, Carlos, you think so, man? He's all giving me his towel. He's like, here, man, wipe the sweat off your head.
Yeah,
you know, because man, Chili Will was sweating, and I ain't lying, man. I was kind of like, you know, I'm not happy until the last tick off the clock is off the clock, and we're running out of here with a W. You know what I'm saying? Because we, you know, I already, you know, I've seen too many. You know, we've seen too many games go south really quickly with these guys. You know, over some stupid stuff, and I'm like, all right, just you guys are looking great the whole game, but let's just keep it going, you know, and you know, let's get through it and get that victory. But yeah, Al Shire, he played a wonderful game on Monday Night Football, made some good tackles, good plays, and you know, I think you keep him in there, even though I mean, Greenlaw, obviously he brings a lot, you know, as far as his coverage skills on, you know, tight ends, wide receivers. I think maybe a little better than Al Shire, and I just think he just has that better element of knowing where to play. I mean, you know, he knows his position and his spots more because, you know, he's been starter for so long, and so I don't think he loses too much on that position, you know. But like you said, if he's just 110% ready to go, you know, then you know that's one thing. But I think you just kind of ease him back in. You know, you got Al Shire, like you said. You know, we don't know for sure. Like we don't want to see Greenlaw get hurt again. You know, and you know hurt himself any kind of way, and just kind of ease the brother back in. And you know, I think it helped makes the defense so much stronger. You know, having him back.
Right. I mean, the rotation, right? You're gonna have someone in there fresh on third downs. That's the most important down in the NFL. So, you know, with Greenlaw back and us controlling the, you know, stopping the run defensively, I mean, that's where he's going to really be a factor. Where I think you ease him back in is maybe you put him in on rotating first, second downs and ease him into thirds. You know, see how he is in coverage. You know, that's where the issue is going to be with these teams. Whoever the tight end that they got to take care of, if they're covering the flat and making sure that he's, you know, not rusty.
Yeah, I was trying to look up their roster just to see, and I had a list somewhere, and I don't know what the heck I did with it, but I didn't. It looked like they show, and I'm not sure if he's playing right now, but they show old boy Carlos Hyde up. I guess he's their running back, and TJ is their backup quarterback. You know, but the guy I guess to keep an eye on is what's his name, James Agnew. This brother had you know, he had I think about 2 or 3 carries for. Let's see that. Write it down here. I mean, from the last game, he had like 2 or 3 carries for almost like 80-something yards or whatever.
Yeah,
so I was like, wow. And I saw him on the highlights. You know, fast little guy. You know what I mean? So it looked like I said, it looked like Urban Meyer's kind of doing the same thing like the Niners, trying to run that ball. You know, and be control by running it. And I'm just hoping. You know, I think Niners. You know, so far for the year, most of the year, we've been pretty good against the rush. You know, I think we rank pretty high and stuff. So there hasn't been too many teams really rushing on us, I think, except for one, which I think was man, I can't remember. Was it the Colts or somebody? There was somebody that kind of got on us when we played. Or what was it? Arizona.
It was Arizona. I believe it was Arizona.
That's right.
Yeah, the recent.
And that's when our defense played that bad game. But yeah, I think that was the most we ever gave up. You know, as far as over 100 yards rushing. So but I know they'll be locked in. You know, I think they'll be ready to step up and be ready for that running game against the Jaguars. So that's going to be interesting to see. How do you feel? Who should play opposite of Jimmy Ward? Because Jakarski Tart has been taken off the IR. He's back.
That's
do you
the big one,
right?
I think you stay with the rookie, man. And I'll tell you why. It's funny. He had a big game, and then all of a sudden, look who's coming off the bench and feeling better, right? So you got some competition in the DB area right now, and I think that's huge because cornerback and defensive back has been where we're a little scary at. We got some young talent there, and this is that time where those youngsters get out of their rookie year and they start playing really well, or they don't live up to the expectation in their rookie year. And I think, what is this, week 10? So he's already got his feet wet. He knows his assignments. I think you go with the youngster because but you got a good rotation, so you never know. You never know how they do that. Jimmy Ward is impressive right now, and even his leadership in the locker room, and in some of his little highlight reels of things he was saying during the week had me pumped up. He really impressed me as a leader in on the defense this year, and especially in the Rams game.
Yeah. And then, you know what, that's what I was talking about, Antonio. I mean, like, I was just like, man, I just want to see somebody light a fire under these guys, man.
Right.
And I was so glad that, to hear and to see that, he took the time to, get these guys together, because he's a vet. He's like the only original guy, I think, from, last
right.
Super Bowl that was with the team, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's a old veteran. I mean, this guy, he's the one that should be stepping up. He's the one that should be lighting that torch, saying, like, listen, guy, listen up. I'm calling y'all, keeping y'all accountable. Let's do this. You know what I mean? And you can see the difference. I mean, like, the defense was just a total defense after, Jimmy Ward got the chance to speak with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and, just keep these guys pumped up and ready for the game. It was just unbelievable. I was like, man, what was this like a few weeks ago? You know what I mean? Like, I always say, somebody just needs to step up, man, and just get these guys motivated and going. I mean, now you expect that from your coach, Coach Kyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, you got to have your, there's players that have that captain patch for a reason, and those are supposed to be your leaders. Those are the ones that are supposed to be voicing and, keeping everybody else accountable and make sure everybody's out there playing their best, and giving their, 10%, and I just feel like that's what was lost in a lot of those games. It was, it just seemed like, they kind of got behind quickly because of just, crazy errors, with turnovers and whatnot, and it felt like they were already just in that pit hole, kind of like, damn, now we got to find our way out of here, and, what are we going to do, like, man, light a fire. That's why. Oh.
Right. Well, like I said, you got a rookie defensive coordinator. What sparks a rookie defensive coordinator? You got to go to your seasoned vets, and you need to see if someone can step up. I think that's what you have to challenge your vets. And he's not a fiery type as our old defensive coordinator who would be on the highlight film more than Shanahan. Jumping on the players.
The guy kind of keeping the cellar back, like grabbing his shirt.
Yeah, they had a guy that had to hold him off the line all the time because they thought they'd get a penalty with him being on the field all the time. So you look at that excitement that this defense was used to, and then you look at the rookie coming in, and I think it's just leadership. I think, what was it Jimmy Ward said on his interception? He didn't like how OBJ hit him, and he can't wait to play him the next time because he's going to look for him. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that pumps me up. And
exactly
when our defense has that kind of a guy, and we already know how Ronnie Lott talked to players on the defense and led. You just need it fires up other guys. And the other thing too that we talked about in the last post game show was, guys are playing loose in this last game. They seem like they were uptight. The defense did not finish well in a lot of the games in the fourth quarter, even if we had the lead. So this was a full balanced, 4-quarter game that the defense played well. And you got to say that this was probably our best defensive game of the year so far.
Yeah, I would say that on both sides of the ball. I think the first game where it was, great offense, great defense, and special teams. I mean, everybody came to shine, and they did, and that was great to see, like you said. I think that was awesome. But, like singling out the defense, though, like you said, I mean, to see that, I mean, that was like, the old Super Bowl defense we were almost looking at right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was like, where's that defense been? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and while I'm on the topic of defense, the one guy that comes to mind, which I didn't know at the time was actually even going to play because of the fractured ribs, the bruised ribs. He was Norman.
Yeah.
And Norman was out there, Antonio. I was like, wait a minute, let me check my phone. 22. I was like, man, got my boy out there, And it was exciting to see him. I mean, what I'm saying? That's a dog, man. You know what I'm saying? That, like, to me, see, that's a player. I mean, you're jacked up a little bit, even like Elijah Mitchell. He's been playing with some bruises, but these guys are out there giving 110%. And that's what you like to see.
I'm telling you this right now. I think his ribs were broken from the first week that he had that injury.
Took that hit in the end zone.
I think they just probably finally announced it because he was keeping it kind of quiet. And maybe he broke him or cracked him more. I don't know, but he's a beast. I like him. He's in his contract here. He's only on a 1-year contract, right? So we only got him real quick. He's got something to prove. He's really got something to prove, and I like that because if when Verrett goes down and we go and grab him, I was a little concerned. He was getting a lot of pass interference plays in the beginning, but he actually held it down this last game, and everybody and I think the safeties were dialed in too. So you just felt like something clicked, and you need to keep that momentum going because we need to go on a streak. We need to go on a run right now. There is no letdown in Jacksonville because of that. I think we already know the team plays well on the road. So, it's just, they just got to get it done. And I think they respect this team because their backs are against the wall. It doesn't matter who they play at this point. And they need to get respect back in the NFL. So I'm happy with that. And let's talk Deebo Samuels, man.
Oh,
Deebo Samuels,
man. Oh man, yeah. Go ahead, man. I give you the floor. Because man, that brother, man. I tell you, he is like on pace for a Jerry Rice explosion kind of season, man. I mean, he's breaking his brother's numbers, man. Like, who would ever think a receiver for the 49ers would come along and even come close to any of Jerry Rice's numbers? First of all, in the whole NFL, right? I mean, and you got my man Deebo out there running, making plays, catching balls. And I mean, this guy he's just looking phenomenal right now. And I think, if he'd been healthy all of these seasons, past seasons, man, can you imagine? Can you imagine how much more of a, plays he would, yardage and plays and yaks he would have had, right now he'd probably be number one by far. You know what I'm saying? He probably would have been a Pro Bowl last 2 years.
I'll tell you what, this is his contract year right now, or he's playing for a big contract. It's not his contract year, but he's playing for a big contract, and his energy right now as a wide receiver on our offense, he is our offense this year, and he's having a great year. And whatever he's doing, he's riling up the team, and even him coming out with the team and having fun, he's playing loose. He's having his best season of his career right now. What about the chain at the end too?
I
need to get one of. Yeah, I need to get one of those.
Man, you know what we're talking? Hey, we were talking about this on the Street Squad, bro, other night, and man, we were like, how much? You know what the deal is with that, right? Supposedly, Jason Verrett got this chain, and the reason why he got this chain was to, honor whoever was out there, dogging and getting their gameplay on. Would get rewarded to wear the chain. So obviously, Debo's out there cutting up, taking chains, right? So he got the chance to wear the chain. So what's cool about it is the fact that, Jason Verrett, obviously he's, done for the season, but yet, he's out there trying to motivate these guys, saying, hey, whoever go out there and start smashing it, you know what I'm saying, is gonna get to wear the chain, So we're looking at this chain. We're trying to figure out, man, first of all, how much do you think this guy spent for this neck chain, man? You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at this thing. This thing's,
I love it.
Oh man, glittered with diamonds. The whole helmet gold. Oh man. So
that's just an awesome picture. I think just being at the game, right? You know where we're at, you don't get to see it all. You see it on the big screen a little bit here and there, but I think to go back home and rewatch it, it's funny because this team is they have it. They had this back when we went to the Super Bowl in Miami, and we came up short. But Debo was on that team. He's a leader, and you got Ward on defense. He was on that team. He's a leader, and these guys battled injuries. Okay, they've had injuries. They've played hurt, and we got to get through this. And I think if we go on a little run right now and continue to play with this energy Debo's has on offense, Ward has on defense, it excites me, and it's pulled me back because I was getting a little negative. I was getting a little realistic. I was trying to protect my heart from this bad season that I was trying not to say. And Carlos will tell me, "Hey, bro, calm down with that. Calm down, man. It's going to be fine." So that's where I think your fear was in the Rams game too, because we're like, hey, don't hurt me here. Let's finish. And we finished strong. And I think we're gonna go roll in. And I truly believe we're gonna get this win with the Jaguars. It's a must win. So I don't have no doubt that it's gonna be a letdown.
Yeah, and again, I agree with you. I truly believe that this is going to be it. This is they've been battle tested. Took on one of the best teams in the NFC, right? And now it's like, okay, now let's take one game at a time. Let's focus. Let's keep our eye on the prize. You know what I'm saying? And just one game at a time. They don't have to look too far down the road. Let's do it together. Just do it together. You know what I'm saying? And just make sure that everybody is just focused. And that's what I want. That's what I love to see. Because on Monday night, that's what I saw. I saw a team that was really focused and they had that goal. The goal was, we're going out there, we're going to take care of these Rams. We need this divisional win today, because if we don't get this one, now we're really in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So now they got to play them again, plus Seattle. So there are two more wins. We definitely, again, not to get too far down the road, but those are two divisional games that we still got to get in our pocket and win the rest of the other games that we play against other teams. And I think the schedule kind of favors that. We're gonna have some. I know Bengals were looking pretty good. I think we play them in Minnesota.
I think you got to respect Minnesota. You got to respect these teams. I think we haven't as fans even talking about it. I mean, I can tell you that the Niners were playing under expectation, and you kind of respect these teams going forward. Even Jacksonville, because they just have no room to make mistakes and lose like that. So we've already dealt with some disappointment in the beginning of the year with some bad losses and some close ones too. So I just think that the key to this game again is going to go back to the running game and managing the clock and actually managing the game. We talked about game manager, Alex Smith days. It was almost like a safe calling game. It was not something that I would say predictable, but, run on first down, run on second down. You know what I mean? We had to get the run going. And then what was it? We went on it on fourth down, and Debo gets the touchdown. Falls at the end of the cone and kicks his legs.
Yeah.
It was just
like,
that was a big.
You want to play? You guys want to play, huh? Come on, this is like street ball now. Okay, that was nice, man.
Yeah, that fired up everybody in the stands, right? I mean, that fired us, and so you're like, hey, man, they're balling right now. This is the team that I thought they were going to be. This is the team who they should be. So now it's creating that consistent play, and maybe the guys needed to take some losses, get the back against the wall type play, and they're playing and having fun and getting loose. You start hitting people out there, you start making big plays, and guys are fired up the whole game. And it was from start to finish. They started good, they started fast, and they finished strong. And that was the most important thing that we have not seen in any of the games so far. So this was their best game.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, they got to just feed off of that and keep it going. I know I keep bringing this up like a broken record, but man, I tell you, in the back of my mind, Antonio, and I think I told you this, man, at 89-90 season, man, never goes away. I keep, that's like that to me, that's a motivation. Like if it can happen for us back then, it can happen again. You know what I mean? And that time when Steve was pulled out of that Philadelphia game, and remember how lit that boy, how bad he was playing before that, and when he got pulled, George Seaver pulled his butt out that game, and he had a fit.
Yeah,
and you never seen Steve Young go off the way he was in Seifert.
He went off for a while.
Yes,
yeah.
And guys are pulling him away, and he wasn't having it, and man. I don't remember who they played next, but man,
that was a Philly game when he flipped out.
Yeah,
we were down by 40 something points. It was our Super Bowl
smoked.
year in '96. We're getting smoked, and it was the actual game that changed the entire team's momentum of that season. Exactly. And that wasn't actually a great season, but there was just that blowout game, and it was It was frustration, but hey,
But you know what?
Seifert was a bad man too, bro. He was a bad man. He didn't even flinch at Steve. Steve
He
was
sure
going
did it.
on. He was like, I'm George Seifert. And
Yeah,
that was
brother was too cool for school, man. He just
right.
He was sitting there, let's just pull him out.
Yeah.
You got Steve. He just like,
I'm wearing my George Seifert glasses right
yeah,
now. I'm like,
yeah.
he was like in these. It's like looked at him.
He didn't bat an eyelash at that brother after he pulled him out. Was just like, you know what? Okay, so man, that was a great that was a great call for George. I mean, for him to do that, because remember, I mean, that was like papers the next day. Oh man, George Stephen pulled Young out, and Young not happy. He flips out, and them guys went on a run though after that though. You know
They
what I'm saying?
They went on the run.
The switch went on, just like it did on Monday night. The switch came on. It was like, man, you know what? If we just get our minds and our heads right and get out of our own way, we can do it.
Right. And then the monkey was off his back at the end of the season. And that's what we have. We have to get the monkey off our back now, because when Steve finally won the Super Bowl, he had all that pressure being under Joe Montana and the expectations of the fan base. We have expectations as fans for this team. Every season, this team is supposed to have a good season in our eyes. But we were there for the good and bad. We're the faithful. But right now, this team it just beat a really, really good team in the NFL. So we need to create that streak and keep it going. And one game at a time. At a time.
Gain and maintain. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yep.
the boys just got to keep the focus, man. I was going to ask you this other question, but I think we already had hit that. Actually, we hit a couple of them already. But probably before we go, let's see. So they're going to head to the East Coast, 3,000 miles, right? Morning game for us, 10 o'clock, be 1 o'clock for them. So, so far, so good. I mean, and Detroit handled it pretty good. They stayed out there for the Philly game, so they didn't have to really worry about coming back. Didn't seem to have too much problem with Chicago. We were there for the Chicago game, which was awesome.
That was fun.
Now it's Jacksonville. It's gonna probably be a little more humid weather, maybe a little warmer, and how do you think that just traveling there and being ready to play in that hot, humid kind of weather? Hopefully it's not too humid, but usually in the South, Florida is always humid to me. So
yeah.
But what do you think about that?
My thing with these 10 a.m. games is just guys sometimes take a while to wake up. It seems like sometimes we start a little slower. For example, in the Chicago game, it took us to get to the halftime, and I was like, man, come on, guys. And they got it done. So I like to see our team start fresh and fast on those 10 a.m. games. But I do have this there's a fear of a letdown, but you always know how 10 a.m. games go for a West Coast team. So, that's always the interesting thing. And, guys will wake up. I think we'll get it done. I think what is always good to do on the road is run the ball. Keep the ball out of Jimmy G's hands until it's needed to be, right? You don't want this team to tee off on our quarterback all day and be put in situations of long ball. So I expect them to run the ball. I expect them to try to keep the same momentum style play that they had against the Rams, and I think they'll get it done. I think what are we looking at on Vegas odds? Do we know what those are?
I want to say let me look it up for you right now, real quick. Let me get the phone out. Let's see here. Bam, bam.
What are we looking at Vegas odds right now?
Oh shoot! I just hit it back out of it.
Place your bets. This is going to turn into who to bet on right now.
I know. All right. We're actually favored by 6.5 points right now. 45-point total. So,
and our DBs are going to be licking their chops on this rookie quarterback. I think this is going to be a fun one because you got to remember, he went first. Okay. Two guys were off the board before we were able to pick Lance. So there is some sort of did we make the right decision with Lance? Did we make the right decision going into the third pick? And remember, Lance was the third quarterback. This guy was the number one guy. So let's see what this guy was all about. And I think the defense is pumped up and ready to welcome him to the NFL. I think that's what's going to be. That they love playing rookie quarterbacks. They love it. So.
Yeah, I think D'Amico Ryans, if he's smart, he's gonna bring the whole kitchen, man. I mean, the sink, table, everything's gonna be thrown at this guy because, like you said, he's a rookie. I really don't think he's quite faced a defense quite as tough as ours, And so, speaking of defense, I got to touch this, man, because this is one thing I'm going to tell you that's been kind of chapping my ass here. What? Explain to me. And I just want to know if it's me or not, but illegal or not legal, But when I'm seeing this happen to our boy, freaking every damn game, okay? This is Bosa getting, I don't know. We want to call
that reminds me of the Super Bowl. That reminds me of the Super Bowl, man.
Thank you. That's from the Super Bowl. That's from the last 8 games. That's from last. I mean, every time he's been out there, if you ask me, I'm seeing this all the time. And I'm thinking, how come the refs ain't calling this, man? I mean, is that considered a hold or not?
Right.
In your eyes, tell me what do you think? Is that a hold? Look at that.
I think absolutely it's a hold. I mean, if we can go back to the Super Bowl. I mean, they were doing that every play. I mean, they could have called holding every play in the Super Bowl. And he's a beast. And it's ridiculous, but we got the win. He knows the holds are coming. He's been held a lot in his young career so far. So it's that other side that needs to produce when they're holding on him and using an extra guy over there on Bosa. But I think he had a big game. What is he at? 8 sacks right now. He's 2 more away from 10 already.
Is it 2? Yeah, I think what did he have on his rookie year? Was it 8 or 10?
I think he had 8. I think he's tied for his rookie career right now. So he's having his season right now. So hopefully he gets his 2 sacks this weekend or
he
tomorrow.
Had 16 if this wasn't going on, right?
Yeah. I mean, when we play running quarterbacks, we seem to not get the pressure that we need. But when we have pocket passers, I know we're going to be teeing off. And that's another thing that is crazy about our defense. I worry when we have a pocket compared to a pocket passer, someone that can run. And like Arizona's quarterback, that guy is all over the place when we play him. And when we have a pocket passer, we do very well with our pass rush. And I think Bosa will have a big game too.
Yeah, but I just think, I think we all the faithful need to get together and I don't know, either put together a whole bunch of photos of all these different games of this going on, send it into the damn Roger Goodell in the league and say, why aren't we not getting this calls on this brother? Why is he? If it was us doing it to somebody else, we probably would. I think I lost my man. There you are. We got your back.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, things happen. But we corrected. But I was just telling the faithful I was still ranting on about the whole Bosa thing, and I was saying we're gonna go down to the NFL committee. We're gonna protest and go down in front of the office, and demand something to be done about this, man. These refs, man. But I just, that was pretty much my last thing anyway. That I was gonna finish with, and I don't mean to sound like a sorry baby, but man,
talk about holds. Talk about holds, man. I mean, Bosa was held in the Super Bowl. Crabtree was held in the Super Bowl. We had there's a lot of bad plays that I can go into that have haunted us. So if we get a hold, if he's being held and we win, I'm okay with that. But if it's these tough ones that holding is not being called, and it's the game makes the difference in the game.
I mean, can you imagine if he was getting all the flags for those holding calls, man, how we would be killing teams, man, because we would just be pushing them back. You know what I'm saying? And oh man, it would be so different, man. But I don't know. Maybe he's just not in the league long enough to get that kind of recognition, or respect from the refs. I don't know what it is, but unless the organization done something to piss off Roger Goodell or something, he just got that Bosa kid. I don't, if they're holding him, man, it's all right. Just turn a blind eye to it. Don't have to say nothing.
Well, do you notice when he does get held, it seems like he's in a lower position, and it's always against a taller, like around the neck. That same hold is the same pitcher. That you see it because he's
his head's all pushed back.
He's coming around the edge all the time. He's flying.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, when you watch him in his 3-point stance go off around the edge, I mean, if you just stop watching everything in the game and just focus on him, he flies off that edge and he comes around. And I mean, if the quarterback doesn't step in, he'd have 25 sacks because his first move is super fast. And that's why the tackles always like got him like this, because he's coming around the edge. And I see that all the time.
The guy's getting clothesline. Look at this, man.
Yeah. So he's
all up under his neck. If you watch that play continue, his head's as he's continuing forward, they're still grabbing him. His head's going back further, and it's kind of like, how the refs allowing this, man? I don't get it, man. I just like that. That's gotta be crazy. Some kind of penalty, I mean,
they should see that right there. That's right in the referee's view. But it's sort of like now. I mean, well, I guess it's a different situation. But thinking back when I want to go back for a minute when we played New Orleans and when Breeze was playing. You remember when linebacker came up right across his neck, and he got that call, and it was like, they said to his head or something, man. It was like, he grabbed him across his chest, man. It's all just like this, but he, kind of took him down, sideways, right? Yeah.
And he got the call, and I was just like, oh, come on, man. But they tried to say he went to this helmet and all this craziness, man. Yeah. Breeze, I was like, oh, protecting this guy.
It was Breeze. Breeze always got the calls. Same with Brady. Brady, you can't go in there and smack Brady without a flag. So, those guys get the calls for, roughing the quarterback and, holding and whatnot. They do the extra to protect the quarterback. It's crazy. But,
that's why I say I can't, different because he is a quarterback and, Bosa is a defensive end guy. But like I said, it was, if it was the Niners doing this to somebody else all the time, the flags would be flying like crazy. Well, that's my thing. It's like, if you're gonna call a fair game, call for both sides, man. All right, I'm gonna stop.
Well, like you said, real quick. One thing though, I mean, the NFL is an entertainment business, right? It's not. People think it's sports, and when you realize that it's, sometimes you wonder, is this for Vegas odds? Are they trying to keep the game closer? So do they let some things slide so that it's more entertainment, more money is being placed on these games? So I always say, like, look at soccer. People get crazy in soccer. I mean,
yeah,
you miss a play in soccer in Colombia, they can have you missing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, there could be some truth to that too. You just never know, man. I mean, all that stuff could be very suspect. Just like, Super Bowl and everything, man. It could have been, But I'm not even gonna go there. Super Bowl. Anyway, great show, man, Antonio. Been great to have you on. I really appreciate you taking the time out from your family and doing your thing and stuff to be on with us here, 49 Street Squad. Would love having you, and I look forward to hopefully our next pregame show, and real quick. So by chance, you're not going to this game, are you?
No, I'm staying in the Bay Area this game, but I will be at the Vikings game. So I'll see you out there for the Viking games. We'll go and have a good time.
Yeah. This one I decided not to make neither. I just, I think the next the next away game will be for us will be, I think, Los Angeles Rams, which will be at the end of the season, because I have a feeling, I'm just telling you now, we might be playing for something in that game, man.
I think so. And SoFi Stadium, right? So we're all going to be there. I'll see you out there too. And but there's a lot of Niner Empire going to this Jacksonville game. Shout out to the Niner Empire.
Oh yeah,
everybody travels well.
Yeah.
Everybody
you know what? Well. That's one thing we do right, man. We come in strong wherever we go. We make our presence known, and so shout out to the mighty Niner Empire, man. We know we're going to represent our boys to the fullest, man. So Again, Antonio, thank you, man. I appreciate you being on the show. And hey, well, go Niners, man. Let's get this other victory right here, man. It's gonna mean a lot.
Let's get it.
Another W in the win column, 5-5. Right?
Let's keep this streak going. Let's go and let's get to something. Let's play for something. Let's get to that playoff game. Let's get into the wild card talk. Let's get back into that playoff talk. So let's go on a streak and let's play. I'm ready. I'm pumped up now. See?
I see. I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it from right here, man.
Thank you for having me, Chili Will. It's a pleasure,
all right.
man.
All right,
Blessings,
my brother.
And see you soon.
All right. You take care. Again, I want to thank Antonio Arevalo for coming in, being my special guest here on the pre-show, 49ers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm really excited about tomorrow's game, Sunday. After coming off that great Monday game against the Rams, now we're going to go in there to Jacksonville, take care of some business, man. We got to get this other W. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell because you just never know when the Street Squad is going to show up, man, and, talk some San Francisco 49ers. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love and support, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week.